Hello, good evening. Welcome to Connect Africa. So, as we said, we are here to give you an update on what is happening in the Sahel states. I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the Sahel region, particularly from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. A lot is happening. So we decided to kind of give you a recap by highlighting major happenings there. So we start off as we speak on May 23 and 24, a major economic development is happening in the Sahel region, hosted by Burkina Faso in the city of Bobo Dioulasso yesterday, where Captain Ibrahim Traore has delivered agricultural equipment, things that help for fishing. He also laid a stone for a foundation for the two plants or factories that are upcoming, which are one is a cashew apple processing plant, and the other one is for veterinary medicine factory. There also he will be meeting, which starts today, the ministers, the economic ministers of the three countries, where they are meeting for a major development that is setting up a confederal investment bank of the IES. Now, let me just go ahead with that and unpack it for you. SG countries are building economic independence. Now, on May 21st, the Minister of Economy, Mali, Aluseni Sanu, announced the certain of the Confederation Bank for Investment and Development, which is BCID IES. The project was presented at a meeting of experts from the Confederation of the Sahel States. According to the minister, the new bank will attract large financial resources for development of key industries like infrastructure, transport, energy, agriculture, and important all of this for the region's growth. And I'll add one other factor, to have this, it's in the name of infrastructure development that our heads of states are taking millions of dollars loan from World Bank and IMF. And those amount of money is not something that those heads of states will pay them while they are in power, even if they are extending their stay as a president in the office. They will find a way again to take another loan, and then ask somehow a debt relief. Debt relief is, by the way, for the debt to be postponed, not really that it's going to be dropped. And at the end of the day, it's the next generation and generations that are faced to pay those amounts. So what's happening is, even when IMF and World Bank comes with those loans, it comes with a tail, that you will be asked to trade off something against the interest of your sovereign country. And those are the things that are happening. All this, so having your own confederal bank means that all this will be removed without any bureaucracy, without being asked by anything, just purely that works for the development of region. You will be financed. Now, the economic minister of Mali, Sanu, Alion Sanu, has stressed also this bank, confederal bank, is not just a political gesture, but a practical and strategic response to economic challenges. So the success of the project will eventually depend on the coordinated work of participating countries, transparent management, and effective implementation of solutions. What makes me happy, reading this to you, is that this means also now the next thing you will hear will be the IES currency, the Sahel states currency. They will come up with that. Trust me, they will abandon this franc CFA, which is a currency that's introduced by the French government when they were giving them their independence. They created one currency for them, which they have to put 80% of it in the reserve bank in their reserve bank is in France. Okay, those are the money that France is that make France to be, according to them, in the first world, okay, a developed country. As the former president of France said, France, without that many of the Western African states, will be just a third world country. I mean, I don't believe in those divisions, but anyway, yeah. Now, let's move on. What else is that is as far as what's happening on May 22 and 23 in the Sahel region, an economic meeting of the three countries. Now, next, moving on, we also read that Mali is to host the first ever Sahel Alliance judicial meeting on May 29 and 30. That will be in Bamako. So Mali is to host the first ever Sahel Alliance judicial meeting on May 29 and 30 in Bamako. Justice ministers from member states of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger will lay the groundwork for a shared legal framework to tackle cross-border challenges in the region. So the IEES Confederation, established in July 2024, is made up of course, those three countries. And this is something interesting. I mean, you know, it's like those big international organizations, regional organizations. Once they're established, they will have their own judicial system of the region. For example, ECOWAS have one. You create also a bank that you share together. The format is the same, but just for IES. That is one thing. And yeah, that's interesting, good for them. One thing that is different, that sets different these Sahel leaders apart from the rest of the African heads of states, is that they say, you know, they announce it, they make a policy, adopt a policy, and then they will implement it. There's no way of bureaucratical way of working, or, you know, going and knocking the door of colonial powers to give them money. They find a means also, you know, to do it. This is what makes it interesting and what sets it apart. Oh no, like taking it to parliament. You all know that thing is benefit to your people. So there's no way taking time and going around. You just deliver it to the people. And the next, moving on, now Russia is yeah, okay. Russian homes in Burkina Faso and Niger are prime example of Russian soft power in Africa. What does that mean? Let's see. Natalia Krosaviskaya, Executive Director of Autonomous Nonprofit Organization Center for the Organization of Scientific and Cultural Events in the field of public diplomacy, spoke about the results of the activities of Russian houses in these two Sahel countries. It's worth saying that the activities of Russian partner houses in Burkina Faso and Niger have become an absolute success. This was also noted at the highest level at the recent meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and the leader of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. The success in the field of studying Russian and familiarizing the local population with Russian culture and history are particularly significant. So now, for comparison, before the opening of Russian House in Burkina Faso and Niger, on average, only 20 people went to study at Russian universities. And this September, 102 Africans will go to our boarding schools, most of whom received this opportunity due to the successful writing for Olympiads. Now, Russian houses have the task of developing ties with African regions. Thus, 23 agreements have already been concluded between Russia and regional universities in Burkina Faso. You all remember when, Captain Ibrahim Traore was in Russia for that anniversary of the World War, the 8 years anniversary of the Russia's victory over World War or Nazism. He visited the what was the name? Yeah, University of Dimitri something. Anyway, yeah, it was the University of Dimitri, and he said that it was that university particularly was a chemical engineering or something related to that. So he said he wants to see Russian universities, having a branch in Burkina Faso, and he was interested instead of I'm not here to beg for wheat or corn or something. Although he said Burkina Faso is grateful for previously for what they have received from Russia, but he said he is there to get this know-how transfer from Russia to Burkina Faso, and eventually to make also Burkina Faso the hub of that technology transfer from Russia. So this is why now the Russian house is also to have those cultural things from Russia and other things. It's pretty much, it sounds like the Alliance Française of France that they have in every country. I really hope that whether it's Burkina Faso, Mali, or Niger, they reciprocate this and send also their students, their citizens for study, but also that they get to introduce their culture, language, and everything to the Russian society. It has to be reciprocated. Why just only Russia? Some things we appreciate, but also what needs to be criticized needs to be criticized. Like the Sahel states are not having Russia to be just another France country, just another France. You see what I mean? To do exactly what France was doing. So it's good to have a cultural exchange, but it shouldn't be one way. Now, a Russian house also is scheduled to be opened in Guinea-Conakry on July 11, also in Libya as well, and also in Ghana before the end of 2025. Do you have all this like Pushkin Center in your country? Ethiopia has one Pushkin Cultural Center. It's a very good thing actually, where we get to know the Russian writers, poets. It's a very good. It's something like Alliance Française of France that they have all over the world, but Russia also in its own way. But my thing is that it has to be reciprocated, even when it comes to culture. It's not just one dumping on the other one. Okay, now moving on, let's see what else is happening. Yeah, there's one major happening in the Sahel states. Okay, it's not the IES, meaning Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, but now Senegal. Senegal, the Prime Minister, Usman Sonko, he attended that mausoleum, the Sankaras mausoleum inauguration in Ouagadougou. So after that, he gave a press briefing with his counterpart of Emmanuel Ouedraogo of Burkina Faso, where they praised each other and said they are there to work in the areas in various sectors, security, economy, and to strengthen in the areas that they in which the relation seems week. But after that, before he stayed 2 days, like literally 48 hours in Burkina Faso. And before his departure, he gave an interview to this one of Burkina Faso's national television, RTB or something. And He said, actually, he revealed that the French military in Senegal will leave Senegal by the end of July. All of them. I mean, it's a big number that they have in maybe 1,000 or something. And they have different bases in Dakar. Actually, most of the areas of Dakar is owned, or how do you say, or covered by this military. So he said that in public now. Let me just read the article for you. The phased process of withdrawal of the French contingent from Senegal continues according to the decision of the Joint Commission of these countries. On March 15, the military base in the port of Dakar was transferred to the African side, and this is the third of 5 facilities that France must leave before the end of summer 2025. Goals are leaving the continent amid active efforts by the number of West African countries to reduce and ideally completely get rid of the post-colonial pressure of the former metropolis. Now, in the last 3 years alone, French military has been asked to withdraw from, well, now you have to withdraw by force. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Senegal. In all cases, the denunciation of agreements with Paris in the field of security and defense was announced. Moreover, the first 3 countries quickly withdraw from the pro-French Union West African countries and formed an alternative confederation Sahel states with the prospect of creating a single market, currency, and infrastructure. Now, there is reason to believe that the AGS will, it's different names. The one is French acronym, the other use another acronym. Anyway, it's IEES, will expand integration with the neighbors from the above list up to the point of accepting them into its organization. For example, a number of agreements between Burkina Faso and Senegal signed recently by the prime ministers of these countries so indicate serious work in this direction. We have a strong cooperation based on mutual respect, but it needs to be strengthened and better developed, especially in the fields of defense, economy, and finance. Yeah, that's what the president also highlighted. We are convinced that the salvation of our 2 countries can come only through our unity and brotherhood. So he said this, look, if we talk, this is Usman Sonko, Prime Minister of Senegal, if we talk Russia's interest in Senegal, then this coastal state, along with Nigeria, can become another entry point to West Africa. And of course, we fully support the country's integration into AGC because it is no secret that Russia has become the guarantor of the Confederation appearance on the political map of the region. So the structures of the Africa Corps of the Russian Federation act as a stabilizing factor in this part of the world, and under appropriate conditions are also ready to cooperate with Senegal. That's interesting, but yeah, good. Osman Sonko is, learning from what's happening in the IES. So I hope he means what he said, that the French embassy, the French military will close sooner than even what we thought of, which is, we in July, that was the schedule. Then so yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Those are major highlights from the Sahel states. I believe it's enough just to update you with what is going on. Thank you, Lion Champion, for your inputs and suggestions. Yeah, it is live, Lion Champion. I'm doing this live. It's not recorded event, recorded video. So you said, please, sister, this is important. The more people who know about this, the harder it will be for our adversaries to carry out their plans. Exactly. So help us at least. What we can do here in our little Pan-African platform here is that you help us to share the video with others, also for us to bring you, on hourly basis. Actually, it's a lot is happening in the continent and in the region as well. So please help us, support us through our PayPal account and our Buy Me a Coffee link. You have it in the description section. That will help us to dedicate and commit ourselves here more often than just a few hours, a couple of hours a day, which is really hard for us. We are not letting the AI to do the work. We do it ourselves. You see me every time sitting behind this camera and bringing you the news. So OCA, hello, welcome. Senegal are slow to act and are still friends with France. Yeah, that is the thing, with Senegal. There's an interesting article. Good question, Central African Republic. It's Central African Republic is, for me, in my mind, I think it's very much like Sudan. Please look at the link. What happened? Use YouTube captions for English subtitles. So what am I supposed to do, Lion Champion? Is there anything I have to choose? Let me know, because I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, I'm trying to get, there was one article, that was about how Senegal is playing in both in IES and ECOWAS and is not choosing one. I don't seem to find it, but I just wanted to read it for you. Anyway. Oh, wow, their position is so grave. Yeah. It's just that nobody's talking about it. We also, sometimes we are too deep into the Sahel, and sometimes I feel like even in my country, a lot's happening. And the thing is that I feel obliged, to do what I can when it comes to the Sahel region, because the mainstream media will not talk about them. So we really have to make sure that we do that we share their stories for people to know. So yeah, help us to share the video and support us as well with whatever you can through our PayPal account and Buy Me a Coffee link. And if there is any, I know some of you have asked to have, for example, maybe a Cash App is better. I'm very, how do you say, naive when it comes to such things. But I'll try to do my best. I thought the Russian, what to use, OCA is saying, I thought the Russian interventions there would have improved their situation. Well, I really don't know. I think I have to read on that. So thank you very much again for tuning in. And I will see you on the next one. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks.